kind of can make a couple of choices here. If they feel like Arla's champion pool is deep enough, which I definitely believe it is, they can just go towards Jiejie as jungler here. Look for something like Sejuani, look for something like Vi, look for something that's just consistent engage and space buying for Leave and Meiko on the Lulu and Zeri.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if they didn't go for a jungler here. I guess there are still a lot of options open. I can understand more for AL waiting for second rotation, especially like knowing Xiaohao's been someone who loves things like can go off the beaten path and has done that in his career, but wanting to match with the Kennen. So I guess with the fact that we do still have the Sejuani, the Wukong, the Vi, those really being the 3 top tier picks, I think it can leave the second rotation in an interesting place if either team starts trying to pinch us out, and EDG already do.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Sejuani Jax, and that makes perfect sense. I wonder what the priority will end up being, right? Because we're probably going to see Wukong Vi plus something else removed from the jungle pool. And at that point, you start to look at things like Viego, right? And Poppy as well. Maybe you kind of fall that far down the priority list. We'll see where AL decide to go with the bans, like you say. I feel like there's a lot of options still up and available, hence why Arla goes towards the Kennen. There's the Vi, so we've ticked off 1 of 3 of the boxes. I expect Wukong will join, and then we'll have to see. But I like the Kennen lock-in anyway. I feel like we actually got to see it in one of EDG's previous series. I believe it was the LNG one, where I like to call the Zeri plus the Kennen the shock and awe combo, because they're both electric. And often or not, it feels like Kennens will always just find a way for that massive flank, the game-ending flank, you know, to come through, and then they always give space for the Zeri to just zip over the wall and one-shot everyone with the lightning crash. Ryze will be banned away here from PingZ, which honestly, if I have to say one positive thing about anyone's legend, I feel like whenever PingZ's on one of these kind of hard-scaling mid-lane mages that can kind of like don't be CS hack, it kind of gets a bit scary for the opposing team. So I like the fact that EDG actually pay a little bit of respect there, and I feel like with the Jarvan ban on the opposite side for anyone's legend now, Wukong probably just makes the most sense to go towards.
Yeah, and I'm actually really surprised that AL kept up with the jungle bans, because now, looking where they could go, you hit on things like the Viego potentially able to come out. Xiaohao has surprisingly been one of the players who has pulled out Graves this split, even though it hasn't really been the Graves meta all year long. Gragas, something we've been seeing come back into form, could potentially set up for an AD option in mid lane, but we're going to see either way. Xiaohao probably going to bring out something new here that isn't played this split.
Yeah, and the jungle pool being pinched so hard, you have to imagine it could be the case. We'll have our answers revealed to us, likely, as AL lock in their last champion. But Gragas, we know what Gragas does now. Had a lot of resurgence back into the meta recently. A lot more in the mid lane compared to previous jungle and top side iterations.
Oh, do it.
No way. Now, this is probably a bad thing for me to admit, but I'll do it anyway. Since it is rework, I've been so set on the fact that the champion probably won't show up in the games that I'm on, that I still to this day kind of don't have much an idea of what it does, in the sense of being able to present it in a factual manner. All I know is many a times we had the lethality build in preseason, and you know the AP bruiser build is a bit obnoxious sometimes. That's kind of it. That's the extent of my idea.
It is lucky. It is lucky for you and me, because I do the same thing. I'm like, you know, this champion ain't gonna show up in my game, so I gotta get to the nitty gritty. No, isn't being locked in. So Xiaohao is gonna play Gragas for the first time this split. Jayce coming through, and now Syndra for FoFo. So at least a lot of, I think, explosiveness on both sides. A lot of bursts coming out from either team. But in terms of big picture, Jamada, what do you think we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for AL, they've got a little bit of a stronger side lane option, right? You've got Jax, you've got Jayce. I feel like these champions can really strongly set up in 1-3-1s, or just very easily get lane priority on sides. But I feel like for EDG, it's kind of obvious, right? You've got Kennen, you've got Wukong, you've got Zeri Lulu. You're looking to try and find flanks, try and play out 5v5s, and effectively just catch off anyone's legend with those pincer movements, so that, you know, you end up getting 5-man Kennen with into Leave just taking over a team fight. I feel like we're looking a lot more at the early game.
Going for the anyone's legend side, because again, it's explosive on their side. They got the side lane pressure, and we're gonna hope they can deliver, Jamada. We're not gonna see, we're gonna hope. We're gonna cheer it on.
I mean, it does all start with hope at the end of the day. Those are some lounge IOs, but are they for EDG? Like
they were definitely for EDG. I do gotta say, one of my favorite things about LPL is since there are just so many fans, and like usually every team has like one player that is a fan favorite, right? Like AL having SwordArt. That there is some like fandom for everyone, so that is always a bit nice. But yeah, I don't know if it was just us coming in late, not being able to hear AL's Giles, but those ones were definitely not theirs.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. I think we might have just come in a little bit late. Giles came in as we loaded onto the Rift. But speaking of, junglers starting on opposite sides from another, both on their red sides respectively. So Xiaohao likely to end up on the top side unless he's looking for some level 3 bot lane shenanigans.
Oh, and
I feel
actually,
like Aphelios
going the dark harvest.
Yeah, so we've seen a bit of a variation of either Dark Harvest or Predator. Right? Predator is like the old classic, run into lanes super fast. You know, I said level 3. It might just be level 2 lyric. You've got 2 stunts, SwordArt with the Annie, and Body Slam, so it's definitely very doable. And they're overextended!
Yep, they're running them down. Ignite onto Meiko. We see the pincer movement coming from Xiaohao. Gets the flash, knock up Body Slam, and Aphelios picking up the first kill. Exactly what AL's bot lane needs. Try and find an upset victory here.
All right, good start for anyone's legend. We'll see if there's any punishment on the opposite side from EDG, but it seems like Jiejie is pretty committed to his 3 camp clear on the top side of the map, so looks like there won't really be anything taken away. Just an expended flash, pretty much. That's it for Xiaohao to find that first blood, so a lot of pressure put down on the bottom side of the map immediately. And, you know, we said a lot of the playmaker potential likely to come from the bottom side. You've got Annie, the plays are always easy to set up. And immediately, anyone's legend pouncing that opportunity.
Yeah, now we're going to see if you're right about top side. Olive going with the flash in. Stun comes out. Jiejie following through. Red buff picking. And Ala, the answer that you wanted from the top side was there for EDG.
Yeah, there you go. All right, couple of clean plays from both sides. EDG get their response on the top side of the map, and you kind of have to try and find that when you know Xiaohao is likely not going to be on the top side for a little while. So replay here. I called out maybe we'll see a level 3 because a lot of the time you will see Gragas 3 camp clear and then base sometimes for Predator boots. And since he's on the bot side, could have tried to make a play work, but makes it work at level 2 real nice. Flash follow up there on the body slam. Finds Meiko and Meiko can't really escape. As soon as he gets hit by that Annie stun, pretty much done for. So really nice from anyone's legend.
You might have said level 3, but we'll give you level 2. You predicted potential cheekiness coming out in the bot lane in the first few levels, and we got that cheekiness. So always nice to see from AL when, I mean, even just looking since Xiaohao's come into the league, that was always one of the most exciting things about him. And even just going back to like before they were known as AL, going back to Rogue Warriors, always having these very aggressive early game junglers who are willing to look for these sorts of plays. And for AL, definitely feels like, even though you highlighted Pinsy being able to play like those late game carries and waiting for that, in my mind, if you're an underdog, come in, look to smash early game. Maybe your mid late game back row isn't there, but at least hope you're able to snowball that into a win is a better strategy. I'd say that's actually contradicting to like what a lot of people believe of like the weight and scale that especially you see in LCS.
Yeah, especially the LCS smile. I feel like. I feel like, yeah, if you are kind of the underdogs, you have to hold the point. I feel like SwordArt bet you're probably going to have to use at least something. Maybe not. Just look out.
Yeah, just stun coming out from SwordArt. SwordArt enough to deny Jiejie from actually being able to connect to anything.
Yeah, alright, well. Definitely very easy to walk off that one. EDG kind of have to just go back to their resets now. I feel like that could have also just been the, you know, the goal of the play. Seemed like leave 40 CS almost, probably just wanted the base anyway. But yeah, I feel like when you are the underdogs, in almost every situation, chances are you're probably going to get out like macro. Might as well try and throw a bit of a coin toss at the favorite team and kind of just catch them a little bit off guard, right? You never really want to try and play on even footing against teams that are just in theory or just in practice better than you. If you make them play from a deficit, sometimes they might just screw up.
Exactly.
It's very possible.
And I think that's something that also could be colored by our experience casting LPL, where maybe in other regions, you know, again, I don't watch other regions, so I'm not going to go too far down that rabbit hole, but like every team is competent laners, right? I feel like that's one thing you can say about LPL. There's a lot of strong mechanical players, so it feels like something that is very viable here that might not be elsewhere is a lot of potential early action coming out this one. EDG, Scout Leak lands. Jiejie not finding the right moment. They're trying to bait this one out. Pinsy jumps in. Still Jiejie not thinking the opportunities there. Other members of AL joining up. It just seems like trying to control mid lane, maybe set up for a reset, control some of this vision towards the bot side of the map. As Jamada, I don't know if we're gonna get a fight or not. I don't do play-by-play the LPL. I'm not used to this, but it doesn't seem like we will at the end of the day. I'm gonna end it there. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, it feels like we have a nightmare, doesn't it? You're just there on the edge of your seat. Hold on, ZDZ with the all-in. Ala.
Ult comes out. ZDZ just chasing him down now. Ult popped and just able to follow up with the Q and finish him off.
All right. ZDZ finds himself solo bolo up in the top side, and Ala hadn't actually reset yet. ZDZ had the Merc Tread, so more tenacity to just kind of deal with those passive stuns with the Ultimate as well. SwordArt could be in a little bit of trouble. Maybe it's Jiejie. It's not bad.
AL saying you're locked in here with me. Xiaohao able to force a flash out from Meiko and gonna back off. This is the AL we want to see. You could do this, AL. Solo killing on one side, Xiaohao carrying the other side of the map. EDG, what can you do? Is Xiaohao, you're spotted, my dude. Not gonna find anything here anymore. Back off, be patient, get that red buff in you. You're Gragas, you enjoy a nice meal every now and then, and it's your time.
Yeah. Gragas, I think by law, is a glutton. At the very least, you ever played Gatekeeper Galio? This is a very weird tangent. But,
no, I haven't.
Have you? So, Gatekeeper Galio is arguably, in my opinion, one of the best skins in the game. Because he effectively, well, he turns into the Gatekeeper of Hell. Now, I'm going to force the points. I feel like FoFo is about to die.
Yeah, you're right.
Or at the very least, use Flash.
Gets the flash. They're just gonna be able to follow up, and FoFo goes down again. I don't know if there's too much to break down from that one, Jamada. So keep selling us on Gatekeeper Galio.
Yeah. So whenever Gatekeeper Galio sees any particular champion, and specifically Gragas, he tells them what circle of hell he's gonna send them to.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually kind of dark, but it's also really hilarious. As yeah, replay, Merc Tread value, movement speed. Yeah, Ala just can't escape once he's overstepped. And he specifically tells Gragas he's going to send them, I think it's 3. I used to play so much Gatekeeper Galio back in the day. For Gluttony, because, well, look at Gragas. He enjoys a good drink, so...
You know, even just visually, I will say Gatekeeper Galio is one of the cleaner skins, is, you know... I was thinking about this earlier in the day. Like, you know, in LPL, we haven't had, like, pauses in a while. Like, maybe there's been, like, a small one here and there, but they get resolved relatively quickly. What would be the chances of me and you coming in today and us getting the long one, getting the big whale of a pause?
Yeah.
As,
you know, you're right. I don't know, I've lost count of how many series I've done now this year. Which is probably a good sign. It feels like I've lost the infancy sort of stage of being here. But me and Mazel did eat a pretty nasty one a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like a 40-minute pause almost.
Really?
Oh, no, sorry, 25. 40 was quite long.
I mean, even 25 is
even 25 is quite long by LPL standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just started naming our plushies in our room. We had like a couple of plushies. Specifically, Mazel had a whole bunch of plushies, and we fielded a professional team of plushies. and for some reason, my Poro is now named Yumi, as by chat decree.
Oh, really?
So I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah.
So it's good. It's good that I'm not back home in the States and I wasn't there, because I have like 20 plushies on my bed. A large amount of them are actually named after Mole, which is kind of sad now that Mole isn't in the league anymore. You know, maybe some team needs a mid laner. And, you know, I'm not Mole's agent. I don't get a cut. But I'm just saying, if you need a mid laner like Mole back in the day, 2020 V5 summer, pretty pog, if I do say so myself. So, and if Mole, if you do need an agent, I am here. I do exist.
Yeah, alright. Well, Mole, if this message does reach you, you know where to find her. he will
Jamada, do you have any players that you're ready to be an agent for? Rookie? Knight?
Rookie? Yeah. I'd let Rookie. I mean, I would be Rookie's agent. Rookie seems like a pretty cool dude.
Such things happening on the LPL broadcast today, people. Such things happening.
And better yet, Rookie is also very, very handsome. Did you see the magazine cover stuff? I can't remember what what the specific magazine is called, but him and Jackie did that whole shoot, and they look great.
They do. I mean, LPL does have a lot of model-esque players. I actually brought this up yesterday, but we actually had a player before, played for DMO, now TT. His name was Mitsuki, and from what we were told, he actually retired to go be an actual model, which is a pretty crazy career. Like, change from playing video games all day to actually being beautiful enough to just stand in front of cameras. What a legend.
Based, actually. I mean, hey, if you know where to get your bag, get it. Okay? You can't stop that. As whilst we were talking about who's I can't straight face, where we'd like to agent for players and which players would make good models. EDG picked up the Herald, which is good for them. It's being cross-mapped currently, but EDG are close enough that they could potentially do something, but I don't know if they're going to spot it out in time.
Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, AL going to be able to walk away with that Drake, and again, they've been able to keep it well. ZDZ once again looking for the all-in. The Slicing Maelstrom comes out, Ala trying to kite him out. ZDZ realizing he has to get the hell out of dodge. Does have the jump to get away, thank God, because he doesn't have his flash up just yet, but even though we've seen ZDZ find the solo kill and have some semblance of pressure from all-ins, 3 plates down, 40 CS lead. Like, top lane is still just going straight the way of EDG. Again, despite the fact that ZDZ has been able to find some nice plays. So, with Herald in pocket, with the fact that Ala will eventually get that down, we're going to need to see AL find a response somewhere. As we haven't really been seeing those same plays come out from Xiaohao that were coming out in those first few minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like it's probably going to come through the bottom side of the map. You've got Annie, you've got Gragas. I feel like, again, the setup, the execution bar is always so low when you have the champion. Now, SwordArt's been set up around this mid lane for a while. There's been a lot of attention drawn here for pretty much a majority of the early game, to be honest with you. It feels like FoFo has been putting down a lot of pressure onto Pinzi and vice versa. It's kind of just a blood in the water situation where you have 3-4 members just hovering 24/7. But nothing's necessarily come of it yet. No, so do I. You know?
Yeah, I do want step 2. I agree with you. Nothing's come of it. We need step 2, but at least we got to step 1 of the potential aggression.
Right. The mentality is set. It's there. Oh, hold on.
Xiaohao coming in right now. Pinzi just trying to run him down. Explosive cast comes out. We have the stun from Timber. FoFo will he go down? Does in the end. SwordArt picks up that one. Xiaohao trying to get away. EDG do manage to go back 1-for-1, and they just keep re-engaging. Pinzi Hammerform jumps in. Meiko now goes down. Jiejie, I think, should be fine. So we said, hey, we want to see more out from AL, and they do slightly trade up, going 2-for-1.
Yeah, not bad at all. We've got better skirmishes in that situation, and just winning out is another almost pop by ZDZ. He flashes forward for it this time.
What's going on, Jamada? What's going on?
Oh, no.
Now the reverse flash comes out from Ala. What? ZDZ, you gave that over. You were the aggressor. The flash, it was so early.
I'm just so unsure about what the game plan was there for CGZ. Oh, hello. Oh my god, Ala. Even if he died, that sidestep was pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
It was great coming up from him, but we see in the meantime, EDG throwing out the Herald in mid since Pinzi had to go cover that misstep from ZDZ. It's going to be more gold going over to the side of EDG, more plates down. And despite the fact that we're even in gold, AL up and kills AL with a dragon, it still kind of feels like EDG are the ones dictating more of like these early map plays as a team. Again, AL finding benefit out of things like the counter gank, grouping up in mid. We've seen some individual outplays, but some nice movement so far as we're going to get to see what happens in mid lane once again.
Yeah, it feels like the macro play is still slightly stronger, but for now, it's definitely AL taking advantage of the fact that their champions are so strong at this stage of the game. I saw that picked up that kill onto FoFo, but it was all about the Praxivia from AL, and frankly, Jayce just has a little more damage to offer in the prolonged exchange, and once FoFo's dead, immediately it just kind of feels like to try and back up. As
what was
this flash was just, I wish I could tell you, you know, this feels like, it almost feels like a tilt flash. Like, I've been playing a lot of top lane recently, and one thing I've noticed is that top laners are very, very fragile mentally. If they start to lose, they get a little bit frustrated. As he loses the 2v1. Yeah, he just gets one shot. And it just felt like a bit of a tilt. Well, I'm not saying he's tilted, but it feels like it's that kind of flash
We know
forward.
what you like. It looked like he felt like he was under pressure. He has to get something done because his like turret's getting whittled down. He's like, what do I do? I need to make something happen. I can't just keep falling behind. Goes for it. Wasn't able to find it. But we can see items starting to come out, as I believe Ala already had a rocket belt. Night Harvester now picked up by Xiaohao. Waiting for this ad that I don't know. I actually don't know which lower thirds our fans, like English broadcast, sees or not, because I know we have some that only us on the broadcast side see.
So, funnily, and it's a very bad habit, and I probably shouldn't even say it, but I feel like today's the day. I often pass with the LPL stream also up at the same time. Just because sometimes it can kind of help out, you know, you might miss something in the first play, and, you know, the slight delay gives you an opportunity to be like, oh yeah, this happened. Super useful. Also, I see everything like I said in chat, so I know when you guys are being naughty.
Jamada, no. Jamada's always watching.
I'm always watching. And yeah, I think almost every lower third that comes up is usually replaced with 8. So like this one will probably be like the casters today, if I had to wager a guess. Or
which is quite nice.
Well as the other one.
It gives us the secret info. We know Ala or Zeta. Someone was plus 2,000. I actually wasn't paying attention enough to see, but Dragonfight potentially coming through. AL seems like trying to have ZDZ set up on a flank, but nothing really able to come just yet. Jamada, I'll give you your time to talk smart before I have to go off.
All right, so AL currently kind of bunched up, and this feels a little bit better for them. Leave is a little bit isolated from the rest of the team, but he can always skate back over if he so needs. And it seems like AL just aren't really interested in taking this fight, and I don't blame them, because Ala, I think, is already on 1 eye. He's level 11. And you have to remember, team fighting prowess of basically every champion in EDGs kind of just overtakes AL, right? For AL, it's going to have to be about, you know, kind of collapsing off side lanes, trying to pick off high-value targets and slowly playing out the fights. The issue is, I feel like a lot of the disengage tools available to EDG and the way that they can back away can make things a little bit tricky.
Ala's gonna get punished. Ala's gonna get punished.
They've
SwordArt
seen
Xiaohao
him.
Coming in. Has the rocket belt, goes for it, but no flash. Shot comes out, but he gets so much damage. SwordArt goes down. He almost found Xiaohao as well. Now I understand why AL did not want to go for that fight.
Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I mean, as we were saying, right? Ala, what I am, he had a loosely large rod as well. Super, super powerful. As Leave just kicks over, looking for the blue buff. And SwordArt just got one shot. Not really much you can do about it either. That's just Kennen at this stage in the game, and I feel like you said, demonstrating why they didn't want to take that fight at all. Because if they did, they would have been face first into that, and also FoFo as well. First item already boots on top of that. Now off the back of the play, with Ala dying on this side lane, Bay will pick up the tower, and Aphelios with gold is always a good thing. But I feel like you might need a whole bunch more gold to deal with what's about to be replayed on our screens. SwordArt.
Yeah.
Just can't.
You're right, there really isn't much to say there. Like, even Cass going wide doesn't matter. Would have done nothing to change SwordArt's fate. But for AL, finally getting that Divine Sunder on ZDZ. Still feels like with the item advantage, that he's a long way off from really being able to do much against Ala. I guess Ala is indexing to play for those team fights, but still always got to put respect on his damage. You said the name of the game is for AL to potentially find these picks. But EDG doing a nice job so far, staying as that 4-man unit and not really giving any openings other than the Kennen. And we've already seen, you don't want to look for a pick on the Kennen. It just isn't gonna go your way.
No, chances are it won't. And this is where things start to get tricky for AL, because frankly, if you have a pick comp but you don't have control of vision, which often you don't if you lose lane priority, things can just fall flat on their face very, very quickly. There's not really a whole bunch of large-scale wave clear on the side of AL either, so EDG can very happily set up lane, set up siege in a lane, and just kind of wait for AL to try and respond, or they'll just take the tower. So there is also that AL have to worry about. So they really do kind of have to start to pray a little that EDG overstep and they kind of just walk into a small bit of a pocket of fog.
Here,
and look for that.
I want to
find that.
Look, as I admit, I believe you are much smarter than me. I want to try and sell you on this. Maybe I need to wait. Allah. I don't know. I don't know if this is what I want to sell you on. I don't want to sell you on them trying to kill Allah again. So for AL, here's the plan. Here's the special sauce, as they say. So what you do, you see EDG pushing in top, Pinzi, chill. You see EDG pushing in top, and you say, you know what? Screw this. You push into the enemy topside jungle, you get your vision down behind them, you literally just wait there with like Xiaohao and SwordArt. You have Pinzi and ZDZ showing in lane to like catch waves, and then when EDG are going for an insane recall, we have Xiaohao and SwordArt now just sitting in this like red side jungle for like 3 minutes. Bam! Pinzi and ZDZ TP in, you flank them out of nowhere, eventually when their jungle camps come back up, and EDG are like, oh my god, what's happening? How are they here? Where have they been this whole time?
You know,
and then AL take the Baron.
You know, you say this, and I'm pretty confident, though I'm always happy to accept that I might be wrong. There was one game, and I'm pretty sure it was Xiaohao, where he sat in the top side tri-bush for like a minute, waiting for something to happen. He just stood there.
That's how you win.
And that can be how you win. I could be speaking complete nonsense. I'm pretty sure it was Xiaohao. It was 100% a jungler.
Yeah, you're right. Today, it doesn't matter what you say. You can say anything with me as your play-by-play. Anything you say is just facts. Okay, we see Xiao trying to go for the engage. The flash comes out. FoFo, Scout of the Week, denies it from coming forward. I'm surprised they were so confident looking for the play. I guess seeing Allah in that top side and knowing they're back up against the wall, leading them to try to find any semblance of engage they can find.
A hint of unfortunate, but also well played from the side of FoFo that the Scout of the Week came in as it did. I wanted the cast could have followed up, and the engage could have been kind of nasty. Now, we said for EDG, team fighting prowess, Arla on a bit of a pseudo pincer, but even coming from that position, that side of the map, it's just going to force AL to basically just change their approach. Make sure they're constantly tracking where that Kennen is. You can see it just means they've got to go all the way around, they've got to go the long way, and EDG have the option to just burst down the dragon.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that AL are even here looking for potential contest. EDC coming off on the flank. Okay, Dragon starting to get reset, but is still going to be fine. EDG should be able to pick this one up. AL, stun comes out onto SwordArt. Now EDG trying to run ZDZ down. Stun comes out, ZDZ, you have nowhere to go. Or does he? Flash actually manages to get to his team with the help of the counter-strike. But Jiejie's here, knockup comes out. Betty now forced the flash as well. AL scattering. Do manage to escape in the end. And I feel like as AL, you should be incredibly thankful about that one. But we need to remember, AL were actually starting. They were posturing of wanting to contest, potentially wanting a fight. And now ending up to where they've had to blow more summoners than EDG ended up losing. EDG pick up another dragon. And things still just going the way of EDG, unfortunately. Yeah. What a rough game.
What a rough game. What an unfortunate set of circumstances that anyone's legend seem to find themselves in very frequently.
Not just anyone's legend, the people. That the people find themselves in. Because AL are the team of the people.
That is true. I feel like after summer, it feels like they kind of cemented themselves as, I'm not going to say the fan favorite, but more like, or internationally the fan favorite, but like, kind of like, how can I describe this? Like, you know, imagine you're on your way to work every morning, right? It's like a 15-minute walk. And every single time, like halfway through your journey, there's always a cat that's just sat on like the side of a wall. And he always kind of just meows every time you move past. And you kind of like that cat. And then eventually, the cat disappears and you get a little bit worried. It's that kind of relationship, you know? You feel a little bit worried after AL lose 6, 7, 8 games, now up to 10. But you still want them to be okay. And right now, I feel like that's us for anyone's legend.
I also think you've literally just done everyone a solid that now you see a stray cat on the side of the road, you now know its name is apparently AL. Ow. Yeah.
Ow.
You know,
Call it Ow the cat. Yeah.
Cheeky little Ow, just, hanging out, is just trying to find his scraps. So now we're going to see if AL can be clever, can be cunning. They haven't gone for my brush play just yet, which I feel like is a little bit tragic. So, earlier we were angling for, like, agent positions. AL, if you need... I don't want to be like a full-time coach, but if you need a coach to come in for a day and to point out some like cheeky brush plays for you, I'm there. I'm in. Like, you guys don't even need a salary. just like
They
5
should,
months or something is
I should study some of those Fnatic VODs from like 2012 or whenever they invented
Yes.
the Death Rush or whatever it was. I'm not quite old enough. I'm still quite zoomer for that. As,
Do you
like
think
you were
AL
about
have
to say,
any chance of
stopping the
contesting
back?
this? Yeah.
I mean, a chance? Yes.
Oh, they did.
I mean, I guess they got them off the barrel, so it's a positive.
They
No
didn't,
matter how you
even,
look at it.
they didn't even need to do anything. EDG,
Yeah.
I guess, just showing a lot of respect, not wanting to flip this game on any like potential engage that they can give, being clumped up in the Baron pit, which is a little bit unfortunate because that is always one of the best parts of any LPL banger is the willingness to
Baron
flip
throw?
Barons. And
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's been a mark of an LPL top team now for years. Like, you look back, you look at the top esports, the JDGs, the teams with the willingness to just be like, you know what? We'll go for the Baron. We'll see what happens because we're just better. And that's the mindset you need to go on and to, I guess neither top esports or JDG have won Worlds. Maybe EDG do have the right. Maybe, not trying to throw shade, but EDG have won Worlds. Maybe EDG do have the right mentality. Kenju beating them into shape well.
Yeah, true. I mean, I feel like last year was probably the year that most people felt like JDG should have maybe won, but Korean supremacy and all the rest of it, as EDG, currently our first place team, are on the Baron. And anyone's legend.
Tibbers. Okay, EDG
They
gonna
won
come
it.
in and look for it. Yeah,
Xiaohao!
Xiaohao! He actually comes in! He finds a steal, but Slicing Maelstrom goes onto the members of AL. He gets taken down immediately. If AL managed to do it, Pinz jumping on one side. Still, though, the rest of the members of EDG able to clean up. But at the end of the day, is AL get out of there. You got the Baron steal. You've taken exactly what you wanted. And my God, I guess we can see why EDG weren't confident in doing that the first time.
Oh my goodness me, it's daylight heist. It's a daylight heist there.
I get it.
Ready
I
for
get it
legend.
now. Jamada, I understand why you don't go for that play. I'm still happy
Yeah,
as a viewer that we got to see that play, but you don't do that.
No, it's just, yeah, EDG, I think they just leashed the dragon a little bit lower than they should be there. And Xiaohao wasn't really disturbed to make his way back around the backside of the pit.
He just walked in. He just walked up and vibed.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll get to see it in the replay here. But because of the way that EDG are positioned, they're not really defending the choke. Anyone's legend to get free access, and Dragon drops just at about 2k, and he drops his whole combo on it, and it's enough. Simple as that. This ult is big from Alabat. The issue is he died too soon, so doesn't quite get off as much damage as he would have liked, but damage is still done. The
Yeah,
important thing, and
that's
it's
the
cleaned up.
crazy thing, right? Is the fact that Ala was in there for like 1.5 seconds and still chunked the majority of the side of AL to like 60% of their HP.
Yeah. Kennen's balanced. I swear. You know, I feel like Kennen's been so good for a really long time anyway. It feels like teams aren't always willing to pick him up. Of course, did get buffed on this patch. He's kind of got very absurd numbers at the moment. So now, definitely on the radar of a lot of teams, but specifically it always has been one of those things that you can pick into Jax and have a really good time. Arla demonstrated that very, very well in the laning phase.
It is pretty crazy. Well, I guess it's not, because LPL I feel like has always been a region where you have like specialized teams, right? It doesn't really matter the meta. They'll play to their strengths, they'll play to their champions, but again, things like Kennen, not really, we're not seeing it more. Things like Annie, which have been very like either teams love it or teams stay away from it. We've really seen teams having like very drastically different priorities. Yesterday's series, we come in and like IG first picking Gragas every time, which like I get the Gragas flexibility in there, but at the same time, is this really a first worthy champion? I don't know. It really feels like the meta's been all over the place, but I need to stop talking about meta. ZDZ's going in, finds the way on top of Meiko, but with the rest of EDG there, just gonna force them back for now. Dragon's not even coming up for 3 minutes.
They're just fighting it. I mean, it's the essence of the dragon. Draws them to the bottom side of the river. It's like some kind of weird PTSD where they just feel like the dragon's always up. ZDZ.
ZDZ needs to chill out. And, you know, have you back in the day? Have you did you have a PlayStation 1? Kind of random question.
So here's the thing, PlayStation 1 actually came out before I was born.
Yes. So, okay, PlayStation 2?
I did have a PS2 though, yes.
So did you ever play any PS1 games on your PlayStation 2? JRPGs, you know, Final Fantasies, Legend of Dragoon, anything?
So my PlayStation experience as a child was very much limited to what my older brother and he did not play any of those JRPGs.
I was gonna say, because you know, when you said like this, the essence of the dragon, it kind of gave me back to that. Dragoon Warrior's coming in as Leave now, gonna try and be a warrior and run ZDZ down. No, he's not. So, you know, Leave, I actually don't care what you do. We built you up as a madman, my dude. In this game, you haven't had to be a madman. You really haven't. You've just been chilling. 370 CS. You know,
not bad.
Looking like back at the actual numbers of this game and not just going down random tangents, it's actually pretty crazy how like the stability that EDG are able to find. But AL have done a nice job of interrupting that stability and keeping themselves within striking distance, 2K gold. And we're getting to a point where the essence of Dragon doesn't matter, because actual Dragon will be up in a minute 30, and both teams look like they're trying to get this bottom side river control in preparation.
Yeah, they are trying. They'll find one enemy behind their line. Jiejie! It's forcing Meiko to flash, but a bottom side fight is still going on.
Oh wait, I forgot the
You're the play-by-play!
Lightning crash that comes out from Leave. Jiejie going in Moonlight Vigil, hitting onto Ala, and AL once again forcing the members of EDG back. My god, that was hilarious. Wait, Jamada, we can hope Regage comes out, and Leave, that was questionable.
I've got it.
Yep.
Alright. How about we just both play-by-play today? For the rest of the day. Like, you know, if I'm talking to the play stops, I'll just play by play. If you're talking to the play stops, you'll play by play. Thoughts?
You know, play by play is really fun, so I kind of want to say no, but I'm interested in seeing how it goes. And obviously with the fumble I just had,
I'm down for the handshake.
I was sitting up thinking like, why isn't this guy talking? What is he doing?
Well, this is a really interesting catch out almost here for EDG. It does start really scattered, but eventually Anyone's Legend managed to get the better end of the collapse. They find Meiko and FoFo first, and Leave also he just
yeah, he did that.
Yeah, it almost looks like a bug, but I think I don't even know how to. You want a coach to be able to communicate with your team, with their team rather. They would only be allowed to obviously watch from the perspective of their team, right? So
yes,
like another observer where they basically, you know, only get like red side vision or blue side vision depending on what side their team's on.
I guess timing-wise would also be very awkward, because at least in those games you have like rounds in between to where like as a coach you obviously can't stop the middle of a team fight. But speaking of team fights, EDG once again wanting to go this Baron route, but AL wrapping around onto the Kennen. No, he's waiting in flank. Slicing Maelstrom comes out, goes golden, buys time, and that just sets up for EDG to find at least one of the kills they've been looking for. That's jungle down. So EDG might even feel confident about once again looking for this objective. They do have to worry about midway first. We can see they want to get something going. Pinzi isn't going to get caught out. Stun comes out, but there it is, Scout of the Week, leading to Pinzi eventually going down. No mid lane, no jungle. It's going to be Baron for EDG.
Yeah, this time Xiaohao's not here to steal the Baron away, so EDG are going to feel really confident about getting this one under their belt finally. And going back to that coach club, I wonder how you would implement it if you could, you know? I feel like it would be quite...
You would kind of need a rule of like, hey, you can't pause while there's action going on, but it feels like that would be very hard to, because maybe one team is like, hey, we're doing something like really valuable, not set up here, and you pause it in the middle of that, so feels like it might just be too convoluted overall, unless League, I don't know what you can add as right to even make that possible.
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit too difficult. How does Pinzi get caught? The curse of a ward. That's how he gets caught out.
You know, his coach stressing the importance of denying vision That's been the topic of their reviews all week long. And you know what? Pin Z, that might have been a pivotal moment in the game. Like, Xiaohao was already dead, so I actually feel like EDG still would have potentially tried to force a Baron. But point is, as long as he ticked something off the checklist of what to work on this week, I feel like the coach has to be happy.
Yeah, true. You know, and I'm sure with your experience as a coach, you'll know this as well. You always had, like, you'd have a positive, negative, or like a positive, negative game, right?
Yeah.
Win where you learn, lose where you learn, and then obviously a win where you win. There's the other combination of that. As long as you're AL, and even if you lose, as long as you learn something, you know, that's where it's at. And I feel like Vision Denial may be up on the list for AL now.
I don't know if they necessarily needed to deny Vision in that team, but like,
no, I don't think they did.
Like I kind of built it up.
it's on the list for learning. Whether they learned or they're still learning, it's up to you to decide.
You have to overreach sometimes, so then you can like pull back and actually know when it's important. This game is really taking a turn. AL, after actually being in the driver's seat for a solid amount of time in this game, really giving that up. It's now SwordArt going to go in, finds it onto Olo, but Olo gets straight onto Betty. He goes down, takes out SwordArt along with him, and now the other members of EDG able to run anyone's legend down. AL have put up a good fight this game. We have had great hangouts and great bands, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter if we were being incredibly biased to AL, because let's be real, we actually weren't. We did kind of drop the ball on that one. EDG at the end of the day, we're still a first place team.
They are very much first place team, and even though they definitely got a little bit rattled by some of anyone's Legends plays, at the end of the day, EDG's greater Mac movement and macro control just reigns a little bit too supreme for anyone's Legends to deal with. You know what? How about next game? We run it like almost like it's an anyone's Legend like co-stream, but like it's by the anyone's Legend organization, where it's like we just get really upset if a play starts going badly. For anyone's Legend, that could be good. But yeah, EDG mostly clean game, right? Obviously there was the Baron shenanigans, but those are liable to happen in your fun games. So, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained, no harm, no foul, all of the rest of that. They still walk out with the first game victory, and anyone's Legend, I think, just need to continue to be this level of proactive, if not a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. You know, again, like you said, EDG feels like the macro, it obviously was just better. The thing that was surprising was like the little mistakes, right? Like the solo kill up in top side that CDZ was able to find, the obvious, like the slide over the wall down to that cove towards the bot lane. And there was a lot of, not only just punishing mistakes, but a lot of times that AL, with like just hovering around mid for so long, they were already in positions that like, hey, it doesn't really matter if, you know, we're losing wave side to this Kennen or what's going on here. They were always trying to find those positions that if action broke out, they were the team that was ready first. And I feel like for AL, when again, you do have pretty competent players, like you have people like Xiaohao showing up, we had ZDZ in top side, like able to capitalize that. Yeah, just keep giving us blood, keep giving us things that we probably should be talking about instead of talking about models, your childhood with PlayStation, whatever other random things, trying to be agents. But
trying to be player agents.
Just keep doing that, and you know we're just gonna keep talking about whatever we want as well. So you know AL, you do us that solid, we'll do you our side of it, and that damage is not surprising, but still very disgusting.
Yeah. And you know, oftentimes I feel like especially the top lane is like the biggest abuser of this. A lot of the time you see top laners that play, you know, lane bullies, they have the largest amount of damage by a landslide. I don't even feel like a majority of this damage was necessarily done in the laning phase. It felt like the amount of times that Ala just found himself in the middle of 2-3 champions, just pressing his R key, being Kennen. He's probably going to end up getting MVP if I had to wager a guess, because laning phase, super dominant. Too many times was AL trying to catch him out, and too many times did he at least take one member down with him. As nasty damage, 185% I think at the very bottom there. Gold to damage ratio, not bad.
It's been really nice as well, because you know Ala's had carry performances this split, but I feel like a lot of times for EDG's games, it is Ala not having to do much. Not necessarily like him playing bad, but like EDG playing around their bot lane, winning so heavily through the 2v2 that Ala doesn't get a chance to shine. So great to see from him. But Jamada, all good things come to an end, at least for 7 minutes. So we're going to go to a break.